Are we rolling?
Hi, and welcome to Intentionally Dense, Season 2.
We're back. You know who we are.
But I guess we can reintroduce ourselves. He's Bringles.
And he's B Cubed.
In this podcast, we're going to dig deep, share personal stories, and unravel some mind-bending insights.
Let's get intentionally dense, shall we? Pause!
Real.
Okay, ready?
It's different when
Three,
I'm yours.
two,
I'm not ready.
1. We didn't expect to see you here, but now we are.
How are you doing?
How you
How'd
doing?
you get in here? There's a freaking camera back there. They're spying on us.
No spies.
We don't have much time.
But anyway, welcome to Intentionally Dense. There's a foot on camera. If you didn't know, we're filming in our hotel room because we're at state basketball, and we lost.
Period.
Basically. Tomorrow we're playing for the second place or third place, fourth place against Natrona County.
Do we know that for sure?
Yes.
How are they?
Pretty good. I heard them on our way out of the event center, and their drum line sounded good. And
Oh,
they sounded
I was
pretty
talking about their basketball team.
good. Oh, I don't know.
We're
They
here
lost,
mainly for
so
the pep
probably
band,
not
but we
very
still
well.
do love our
I think we're
basketball teams.
guaranteed third place. So, and then we have a 6-hour bus ride at home.
Yay. At home.
At
We take
home.
the ride home, and then once we get there, we have another 6-hour bus ride.
Yeah. But this episode is about. What's this episode about?
Just like stuff.
Just stuff, basically. I think this is going to be called stuff.
Stuff, comma, like basically, dot. Do
Ramkota.
you remember what a dot,
Oh, shout out
is
to the
called?
Ramkota Hotel.
Ramkota.
Ramkota.
Ramkota. Do
Hotel.
you remember what a dot is called?
Rakota.
Nope. That's what the hotel is.
Rotunda.
Nope. I told you this just like a few days ago.
Terracotta.
Nope. It's nothing like that at all.
Google.
Ellipses.
Ellipses. That's what it is.
He knew it the whole time, guys.
I
He
knew
was
it.
just
I
kidding.
knew it. Okay. My first Google is when in December of 1890 the
When?
US
When did December of 1890 happen?
what was our main focus on this pod?
Madam Web.
Madam Web. Let's give it up for Madam Web.
Let's
No.
not.
Madam Web is
Probably the best Spider-Man movie ever.
Is it Backwards Day?
No, it's just the worst thing.
This video is sponsored by. I don't know how that sounded, but it probably sounded really bad.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, my bad. Pretty good cast. Sydney Sweeney. Why is she at the beginning?
She was probably-
Dakota Johnson. Shout out. It got 2.6 ratings.
It only got
2.5
didn't
stars.
even get 3 ratings, guys.
Bro, that's
only
lit.
2.6 people.
12% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Dude, that is rough.
All
Was
right.
that critics or audience? Audience.
You know what the budget of this movie was?
Somewhere in the hundreds of millions.
$80 million.
Wow, that's close. That's too much to be spent on,
Uh,
frankly, something that should never have been made.
you know when you
what-
you know when you like burn your toast and like you accidentally didn't mean to burn your
And
toast.
then you're like, oh my gosh, am
and
I
you're like,
having a
no,
stroke?
I'm not gonna eat it. I'm gonna throw it away. This
Yeah,
is what
okay.
this movie is.
Remind me of that later because that is going to put me on a tangent. But it's just kind of, it's the point. It's not like,
no return.
no, it's not it's not you go see this movie and then you come home and you're like, oh my gosh, that movie was so bad. It's, you see that movie and then you go home and you're like,
Why did I spend?
hundreds of people spent a lot of time on that movie.
Why
and they
did I
released
spend
it in
my
that
2
condition.
hours
And not
of
just
my
what I did.
life?
People worked hard on that, and they released it in the condition it was in. It makes you feel bad. It really does.
It was a terrible movie.
It was worse than Morbius.
So bad.
It was worse than Morbius.
It's Morbin time.
It was not. It was.
It wasn't Morbin
It was
time.
Web in time.
It was Weapon
Oh
time.
my gosh, the movie was so bad.
It was terrible.
I watched Morbius once. It was not good. This movie's bad.
Real quick, we're gonna check the audio of this video. So jump cut.
See you soon. You're cool with mono, right?
Yeah.
Aw. Bro, stop.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna get. You want some pink eye? He's still coughing. There's just two men. Sorry,
Stepped on my toe.
there's two men in the bed next to us.
I don't know, man. There's two. You're banking. You're welcome.
Anyway,
Anyway, Madam Web is, by definition,
the worst movie that will ever be.
a movie.
Madam Web
It's
film
definitely a
on
movie
Wiki-
to exist. it is the movie.
Wikipedia.
PETA. What does PETA have to do about this movie?
Wikipedia.
There were spiders.
There were
Wikipedia.
spiders. Okay, let's start with
How bad it was.
notes. I gotta be honest. I thought the script was loosely packed.
That is the funniest double entendre. That's not a double entendre. What is that called? An oxymoron? That is the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. Loosely packed.
Look, I'm barebacking with my nose.
That sounds like a good band name. Loosely packed.
Loosely packed.
I gotta quote that.
Please quote that.
I have a
'cause
band name list.
Literally, Carson Graham wanted to start a band. Oop. What are you gay, dude? Calm down. Is the lining better this
Quiet
way?
House Clean Style.
No. Yeah, I like it that way. Sorry for that. He's still coughing.
Get over it, man.
Max's little laugh. It's so weird. Anyway, what were we talking about? What was I saying?
What's the
Oh
ba-
yeah,
what's the band
Carson
name?
Graham was
What's
like
the band name?
loosely packed.
Loosely packed.
Loosely packed.
So
We
good.
were at the gala for the Ford Theater play or Ford Theater like
Good fundraiser. The Salt
Fun-
River Arts
fundraiser.
Council.
and it shout out to Ford Theater and
Arts
Olivia whatever her last
Burnham.
Burnham's
Forget Olivia's burn hand.
Olivia's burned hand.
Yeah, how do you forget that?
Crap,
that
I
was
forgot
tragic.
I burned her hand. Shout out to her because she's a great singer
And her hand.
in her hand. But her dad asked me and Adam to come down and sing at the gala, and it raised $14,000. Is what my mom told me. I don't
Yeah,
think that's
what my
true.
dad said. Is that what they were looking for?
I don't know. I don't know
if
what
they
they're.
reached what they were going for.
I don't know, but
Oh,
shout out to
my
them.
Goodness. Dude, get over it.
It's Jover. I keep saying that because
It's funny. I've like, I don't know if I've just said it enough that now Maya starts saying it. But she sent me a
I
quote.
say it with everything. Cause
She
it's
sent me a
funny.
quote. That I don't have no context, but it just said, "It's Jover. I hope he likes men."
What?
Maya, she's at speech and debate.
That is so weird. Anyway, but wait, why did I lead to? Is she here?
Maya?
Yeah. Oh,
She's in
she's a
Cheyenne.
speech and debate. My bad. What was I gonna say?
I don't know.
We were talking about the Ford Theater. Oh yeah, we were sitting at the table and Carson was just like, "Well, we should start a band, but what should we call it?" And I'm like, "I don't know." I was saying like the back door or something. No, I like loosely packed.
Loosely plucked.
I. Anyway,
The three names that are.
I
currently on
thought the script was very loosely
You should elaborate what you mean by that.
packed, as in like, wow, the script was like there, but they didn't act upon it, and no, it was just basically crap. It was
That
written
was pretty freaking bad.
awful because there's one part. I don't want to spoil anything, but there's one.
No
part,
one's watching this movie.
No one's watching this movie.
If you are, don't.
Click off if you want to just.
If you want to watch this,
if you want to ruin your life, click off and watch the movie. Here, there'll be a link in
That's not
nowhere.
you can. There's probably a link somewhere, and you are allowed to go find it.
In Wikipedia.
Knock yourself out.
I'm literally on Wikipedia right
no,
now.
you're on PETA.
I'm on Madam Web film. Anyway, but the main character meets her mother, and she's like in a vision, and I don't know what.
Let's do a play-by-play of the whole movie, and then we'll dive into that. All right?
Okay, so it starts off with
Her mother,
her mother
deep in the Peruvian forest,
deep in the
deep in the
deep in the
pregnancy.
purpose.
What?
I don't know. That was
She's so pregnant at this point.
she's pregnant with the girl,
and she. Wait, can we say this yet?
I don't know.
So well, let's not. Let's keep
Let's
it for later.
not.
So we're just doing a play-by-play of the movie. So this is Cassandra Webb's mom in the forest.
I hate that. I'm sorry, but I know it's in the comics or whatever. But Cassandra Webb.
It's a double B.
It's just I know it's a single B.
It's two B's.
It's two B's.
Madam Webb.
it's literally MADAME.
I don't care about how you spell the Madam part.
Web.
Let me Google the comic.
W-E-B.
Google Madam Web comics.
Okay. Anyway, continue.
So she's in the forest, and then this like Spaniard walks up to her, who's a part of her expedition, and he starts saying things, but clearly they didn't like what he said, so they had him voice it over in studio, and it did not match his
Oh my
voice.
gosh, no! How do you mess up on an $80 million budget and
Oh my
you
gosh.
have to redo?
They must have
in
not.
post?
They did not like the way he delivered
It's-
his lines.
I love. Oh, I
Because they
don't
were
have
all
Wi-Fi.
reworked. It
You
was
might have to
hilarious.
search it up on your phone because I got no
What, the-
Wi-Fi. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, but
So go from the point where she finds the spider and brings it back
so
to camp
she finds the spider
that she's looking for.
that she's looking for, and it has like all these powers.
Oh, and there's this rumor that if you like drink the spider's poison or something, you get like enhanced agility and essentially Spider-Man powers,
Basically all the
but with no
powers.
web slinging, no web slinging in this movie.
Which is weird. I hate that.
So she goes back to camp.
She goes back to camp, and all these dudes, this one dude, the main dude, is like,
The Spaniard
the Spaniard's
with
like,
no line.
I need it. And then he kills everybody in the camp, right?
Yeah, he kills. He gets a gun out.
He gets
And
a gun
she's
out.
Like, Guys, I
She's-
found the spider, and then he like pulls out a gun, kills everybody, and he's
kills
like,
everybody with a
he's
gun.
like, you don't have to do this.
and then
obviously
kills
that's-
his, was it his wife?
No, it was just Cassie's mom.
Kills the mom,
Well,
and
he
then
shoots
she
her.
gets saved by the monkey spider people that
Yeah,
drop
'cause there's
down.
the spider people have been.
And then they
drinking that
take her,
venom.
put her on a pool, and like
They make the spider bite her again,
they make the spider bite her again, and then
Cassie's born
obviously she's born and
into like this
inherits
lake of like filthy
of like
Peruvian
okay,
tree water.
okay, you know the blue milk from Star Wars.
Yeah,
That's what it reminded me of.
it was basically just like mud, just a big mud puddle inside like a tree. No, it wasn't a cave.
Yeah,
Not good. Not good.
but she
I thought it was.
obviously she inherits all the powers, and yeah, she's just in New York. She's a cop. Not a
She's
cop.
an EMP.
She's an EMT.
She's an electromagnetic pulse.
She's an she's an EMT.
It's
And-
just one B. I thought it was two B's.
She
Wait,
just
can I preface
she-
this real quick? I mean, I'm not really prefacing anything, but just like Sony, you're not watching this, but when you're thinking about making rip-off Spider-Man movies because you can't make real Spider-Man movies as well as the MCU can, don't pick characters like Madam Web. What does Madam Web do? She gets referenced a time or two as she sits in the middle of the web of life and destiny and looks at stuff. That's not a character you can make a movie about.
no.
You have Venom, sure, that's good. Morbius, maybe. Madam Web, there's no substance of almost anything to do.
Things should stay comics that were like
Like if it works in a comic, that doesn't mean it's going to work.
the
on
thing is
screen.
Stan Lee.
Stan Lee.
Stan Lee. He wrote that, right? Marvel.
Spider-Man. Well, he created Spider-Man.
He created Madam Web.
I don't know if he did. He was a big part of Marvel, and since he was a big part of Spider-Man, probably he had something to do
Maybe.
with Madam Web.
I just feel like Stan Lee made all these characters, and then they were just like, "Oh, this character is so cool. Let's make a movie out of it."
Yeah, Madam Web.
Okay, it's
She's
it's
not a central character.
it's like the equivalent
She can't
of
be.
Mulan, the live action Mulan. If you get
that
my-
movie strayed so far. No Mushu, and she's like, she was like an instantly talented person from birth, which is not how the
no,
old
she's
one goes.
terrible. She learns how to do things.
Yeah, and that's what makes it cool. 'Cause
Yeah.
she learns how to fit in and be like an actual warrior. But in the live action movie, she's just like born with special
I heard a gunshot.
gymnastic powers. That was actually a bomb.
No, my bad.
Welcome to the Ramkata.
Yeah, shout out to Ramkata. Why is my freaking Wi-Fi not working?
Wash your mouth.
Freaking Wi-Fi not working.
That
But anyway, she just she later figures out that something will happen, something bad will happen, and she'll like experience it, and then it goes back, and then she knows what to deal with. Basically, she can tell the future, which is like the gist of it. You get it.
she so she was helping a guy get out of a car that got flipped over one day on a bridge.
Yeah.
She was in the car with him, and then the car tipped over and fell in a river. And she had this like moment, and then she starts having these experiences, and like if she doesn't say the right thing or do the right thing, something bad will happen, and then she'll like flash back in time, and then she'll know what to do to avoid that. And she starts calling them visions, which is weird and stupid and wrong, because what's actually happening is she's living through it, realizing the mistake, and then living through it again. So it's not a vision, it's what happened, and then she reset, but whatever. So she has one of those when she's talking to Ben Parker, who was pretty much a big selling point of the movie, because you have to tie the movie into Spider-Man, at least in some way, or this movie has no value.
Yeah.
Period. And Peter Parker was never actually name dropped, but it was hinted at. And so she's with Ben Parker. She falls in the river, and he's like taking her oxygen and stuff. And he's like, "Man, you got to get to the doctor." And she's like, "No, check it again." And it was like better somehow. And then she had so like they were just having a regular conversation, and then she flashed back, and I was like, "What did she do wrong?" They're inconsistent.
That was just a hint of it. But like for the whole movie, nothing made sense, and somehow Sydney Sweeney was in it, and she was dressed like a
nerd.
Ho nerd. You know what I mean? Like the ooh, I'm stupid. Come sit on me. Sorry, Lego movie.
Watch that tonight.
Oh yes, please.
I'm a bitch.
I'm a bitch. Come sit on me.
Let's not do that.
No.
Bang bang zap pow.
Zap pow.
Bullet
Bullet gun.
Chris Pratt, please don't copyright this video.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'm a nerd.
Okay.
Come sit on
So
me.
there's 3 girls. Huh? Man, shut your.
Hey.
Anyway, there's 3 girls in it.
And none of the characters
Are
are
good.
likable.
Yep.
How can you write a
There's a
movie
black-
and not have likable characters?
No, I didn't mean to say that. I'm not racist. Okay, there's a black girl.
Well, hopefully.
Stop. There's a black girl that's just a punk, and she rides a skateboard. I'm
And
just
her
saying
dad
black
is in.
because
Her
two of
dad's
them
a
are-
businessman.
One of them's
who lives in Japan.
Mexican. One of them's they're hitting all preferences.
They've got that live action Dora
white,
lady.
black,
All
and-
preferences.
I'm just saying white, black, Mexican, and black. I mean white, black, and Mexican.
There was 2 white characters actually.
Anyway, kind of Mexican, Puerto Rican. What is it?
The Dora character. Did anyone watch the live action Dora movie?
It's Dora.
They made a Dora movie?
They made a live action. It was actually lit.
And Boots was in it. You know the monkey,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Dora, don't be afraid that you're not grown up yet." And I was like, "What the heck?"
What is this?
He was like this really deep voice.
But like, so Dora was in it. Dude, you okay?
Just checking in on you.
Just pat me on the back, man. He's giving me a
He
hello.
had something to say.
Yeah.
Okay, but we'll talk about those characters when we meet them. So Cassie has that experience, and then she's going home from work one day. Okay, no, what happens is before she has that experience, she saves this guy from a different wreck, and it's Cassie. It's Sydney Sweeney's father-in-law's brother or
I
something.
did not catch that.
There was a weird connection. Sydney Sweeney has like family
Okay,
issues.
side rant. Sydney Sweeney is on SNL, and all they care about is her big boobs.
You can't. Wait.
Same. No, but like they're just. I don't know.
They're just.
I don't know.
You're
No,
painting yourself in a bad
there's, like,
picture.
Instagram. What?
No one said anything.
Instagram.
Your stomach.
What?
You hungry?
It's the baby. Can I scream into your?
kick.
Can I scream
No.
into your belly? No, you'll wake the baby.
Bro, I walked up behind Jack because he had all the pizza boxes
Hmm.
and like grabbed them, and Archer was like, "That's the way you would walk up behind a pregnant woman."
No.
And I was like, "I can feel it kick."
No. Anyway, but like they
Okay,
keep
so she
praying.
meets Sydney Sweeney. She's like, "Hey, thanks for saving my father-in-law's brother." Don't do that.
Oh, you got nice thighs.
And then Cassie is like, okay.
Oh.
She like saves people's lives, and then they're like, "Oh my gosh, thank you so much. You saved his life." And she's like,
I cannot ignore the fact that she is in like 4 really naughty movies.
Where can I get these?
Where can you get these? Max, say what the movie is. We've watched
Max,
it in a
don't
hotel.
say it.
Wait, what'd you say?
Which movie is this that we've seen in a hotel with Bobby and?
Oh, 50 Shades of Grey.
I was not there.
We were at Laramie for a jazz trip, and I was just like,
Laramie.
I was as a joke, I'm like, ooh, let's watch 50 Shades of Grey. I don't know why that's on, because it's basically just sex porn. Yeah, I haven't seen it, but like, I've heard.
But I
of
was
it.
there when it was happening.
No, because they cut out everything. I was just like, oh, I've never seen this. Let's watch it. I didn't know it was that bad, but they literally it
They
was
do it
one
somewhere.
point and then it was another point. I'm like, okay, that's a naughty scene. What happened? Anyway, but She's in that
So,
movie.
like,
I just can't
okay.
unsee her. Oh, telephone.
You rang.
Why is there
We'll just keep talking.
Okay.
And so she's like,
Tell us
she
what they
saved
say.
Someone's life, and then they're like, "Thank you for saving her." She's like, "I can't talk to you."
I know. Why is she talking like this? No, I stay. Oh.
Shoot.
And we're back with Adam Bringhurst.
Stop it.
Get out of it.
No talking.
Anyway, what was we talking about?
Madam Web. We have to do a quick play-by-play. We're running out of
Airtime.
dice.
Give me the dice. And give me room. Gosh dang it. You press that.
Low battery.
No. There we go. Okay.
Hello.
So what happens next? So she
She's
meets
bad at taking appreciation from
yeah,
people.
and then she goes into the subway and
So yeah, she's like having these visions.
she's having these visions, like a bunch of visions.
It's
and-
like too much for her to handle at the moment.
yeah, it's
she
just
goes and
playing.
sits on the
It's
subway.
playing play by play of that man trying to track down this woman.
Yeah, because
These
the man
three-
that shot her at the beginning is now having these nightmares.
That 3 girls are going to come and kill her
Dressed in spider costumes that were shown in every single trailer, even though they were only in about 2 minutes and 15 seconds of the
actual movie.
Nothing cool happened in this movie.
No, it was. The only cool thing that happened in this movie was what is happening right now.
This isn't even in the movie.
Anyway,
My bad, guys.
but the pog,
Pog.
pog. So she goes down to the sewer. I have Guys and Dolls in my mind. Goodness, it's about a 10-minute walk from here.
Which way?
This way. Dun, 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 dun. They go into the subway and he's trying to find these 3 girls, and these 3 girls coincidentally
Sydney Sweeney, Dora, and
and
we
that
need a
other
nickname
chick,
for her.
skateboard girl,
That's too long.
skater girl, skate girl,
So
skateboard,
skirt.
skirt. Okay, we've got the black skirt. We've got
It's just
we've got
skirt.
we've
It's
got
like saying Black Rosa Parks.
Black Orpheus. We got skirt. We've got Sydney Sweeney, and then we've got
Dora.
Dora.
We need a sick name, a nickname for Sydney too.
Big boobs. Sorry.
4 Eyes. She has
4
glasses.
eyes, yeah.
4 Eyes, Dora, and skirt.
But they go down and she's like, "Get off!
We have to get off this train."
now!" Like that's how she
So
speaks. She's like,
she keeps going. To
she's
the future,
like,
and
she's
then
like
he's
so
"Come,
awkward, and she's like, "You got
You
come,
guys are gonna
come,"
die. You have to get off the train.
and then they call.
And then they get off with her, and then 4 Eyes calls the police.
Yeah.
'Cause she thinks she's getting kidnapped.
yeah, and then
She's
they
like, "I just saved your life," and she's like, "What?"
they actually start believing her. Believing her, and then they start running through. And the Spider-Man, he actually looks pretty cool when he's crawling on the. That was
Yeah,
cool.
but he doesn't do any.
he doesn't do any
Spider-Man.
web
he
stuff.
Has no web stuff. Imagine a Spider-Man without webs.
All he can do is punch.
That's so boring.
Yeah. But he's crawling and like chasing them, and she's having more visions and stuff,
And
then
knowing how to avoid him, and he's like,
she
"How are they doing?"
steals a taxi cab, and drives it, and she drives them to the forest.
Yeah,
Where in New York are you finding a forest? Is there just
upstate,
Is there
4
actually
hours away.
forests in
Yeah, you just when you get further northwest in the state,
like it's deep in the bush?
not Australia. So also, Evil Spider-Man has this redheaded girl who's got like this surveillance camera that's hooked into every single camera in New York, which is lazy writing.
Basically, Bad
And-
Oracle from Batman.
Whatever that is. And so she's like, "Are you sure we should be doing this? They're just girls. They haven't even done anything bad yet." And he's like, "Yeah, but they're gonna kill me in the future." And you're like, "Oh, well, that's making some tension there. That could really lead to an interesting character development. Maybe she'll betray him in the end." And after a certain while, they just stop coming back to her, and she's just a forgotten character. So that's actually really good writing, is just to leave your characters
Yeah.
and never come back to them, because then it leaves the audience guessing, and that's exactly what you want to do, especially in that kind of way.
Yeah.
So they're in the forest.
They're in the forest and they're like, "Stay here." She's like, "Stay here."
Because somehow she knows that guy has all the cameras.
They're just supposed to
So she's
stay in the forest.
Well, yeah, they had like Slim Jims and pretzels and stuff. And Four Eyes
So
was listening to Cassie,
loose
and I was like, okay, that's good.
And then they
But
make
Dora, so Skirt is like the devil on your shoulder. Dora is like
the goodwill.
the conscience, and Four Eyes is the angel on your shoulder.
Yeah. She doesn't want to do anything.
Yeah, she wants to just do what Cassie said because Cassie already saved their lives. According to them, they don't know because they haven't seen the future
So
like she
they
has.
make their way. They make their way to a diner.
Because Skirt ate all the provisions.
Yeah. So they made their way to a diner, and they like see these boys, and they
Because Skirt's dad is rich, and she has like $200,000 on like a debit card, so she
flirting
just
with-
buys like everything on the menu.
they're flirting with these boys at the diner, and then they start getting on the table. And,
Wait.
ooh, getting in there,
Wait,
kinky
so
side.
they were sitting on the bar, and they looked over, and there were these boys in the booth, and the guy that the camera focuses on is just looking at the camera like this. And then Dora was like, "He's flirting with you," and I was like, "He's just a predator."
No, he's literally just a predator.
And then they go and they start dancing on
to
top
Toxic.
of the table to "Toxic" by Britney Spears.
Yeah, Britney, oh,
And then
Miley
the guy
Cyrus.
walks in there.
And
Evil
it,
Spider-Man-
that's the only good part of that movie is the Toxic. Like, I love Toxic.
Yeah, that's a good song. But then Evil Spider-Man comes in there and just kills all three of them. And then Cassie was like, "Oh, well, crap. That shouldn't have happened." So she goes back in time, gets a taxi, and just drives through the building.
Yeah.
She just drives
So
right into the
stupid.
building.
Drives into the dude. Like, remember
Yeah,
she
she
runs
hit the
over the
guy.
dude.
And then she's like, "This is what happens when you don't listen to me." And they're
Yeah.
like, "Gosh, we're so sorry."
Okay, I don't know what happens. I can't remember what happened next. It was like a.
Nick,
I can't remember
when
what
they go to
happened
the
next.
hotel and they learn how to do CPR.
Oh yeah, they go to the hotel and there's just a whole scene where they're like doing CPR on a pillow and they're like 100 beats per minute, and then she's like, "Oh,
Think of a
you
song."
stopped," and he's dead.
Yeah. Think of the Staying Alive.
100 beats per minute.
Go with that beat.
Staying alive. First, I was afraid. I was petrified. You ever see that scene in The Office?
It's so good.
He's like, "Staying alive," and he's just like, "Oh, okay." First, I was afraid. I was. What are you doing? And then the Dwight cuts the face off.
Yeah. And then
He has
We have
no
to see-
wallet. I checked.
he has an organ donor card.
He has no wallet. I checked. Creed.
What a guy. Okay, so they go to the hotel and learn CPR. I wonder why they would do that. Is it like
I don't
maybe
know.
for like a plot reason?
Have
Maybe
you
they'll-
seen the
Maybe they'll come back
the
later.
kids do CPR on a frog, and then they're like, "Oh!" And then he gets up. He's like,
You see when they like put 4 phones together in his hypnotizing screen. There's a frog in the middle.
he like
He
looks
just like jumps straight up
Yeah.
at the camera.
Anyway,
So they go to a hotel and learn CPR for no other reason than for it to come
I
back
don't
later in
know.
the plot.
because she's EMT or something. It's like,
And she's like,
cool.
I'll teach you something. And can we just?
I don't know what next. I don't know how.
And then she goes to Peru. She just goes to Peru.
Oh yeah,
Remember that?
she just goes to Peru and leaves them at the hotel. What is this movie? I forgot how.
She's like, okay,
dumb.
stay here. I'm gonna go. And then she's like back from Peru in 3 hours. There has a spiritual.
It's like guys and
experience.
dolls physics.
that,
It's like
yeah.
let's just go to Havana and then come back to New York.
Yeah, she goes to Peru, meets this guy who was like, I think he told her when she was a baby. She's like,
No, he was the
Come-
dude that saved her
Yeah.
mom.
But was she talking to her mom or talking to the baby? And he's like, she'll come back when she needs help.
Talking to the mom.
And then she came back and she got back into the water that she got done birthed out of,
Yeah.
and she was like swimming around in
Careful,
there.
careful, Max.
Yeah, Max, don't bump anything. And then she had this experience, and this is what you wanted to talk about originally.
Yeah.
Is she's seeing that her mom knew that Cassie was gonna have some kind of.
And then she like
No, let me explain it.
okay.
So she knew Cassie was gonna have some kind of disease from birth that couldn't be cured. And
Yeah.
then she's like, well, I have to figure out how to cure my child. And so that leads her to go into Peru to find the spider, which can hopefully help to cure Cassie. And then Cassie realizes, because she was always so mad at her mom for taking herself into the jungle when she was like 9 months pregnant and then dying. But then she realized that she was trying to help her. And then when she realized that, she said in a vision to her mom, who clearly can't hear her,
Yeah. And she was like,
You did it.
You did it.
"You did it."
And it was like so it was like
Awkward.
the one thing you'll know about me is I hate, and I said this in seminary. Rothermel was like, "What's something you hate, Brock?" And I'm like, I hate when people just act cringy. like in real life, people act cringy, and they think they're like on Disney Channel.
Oh gosh.
That stuff pisses me off so bad. And that literally that moment was like
That literally moaned.
that literally moaned. Shut up. She was like, puts her hand on the shoulder.
You
Did it. And he like a week later he like mentioned a week later he like mentions that, and I'm like, wait a second. And then I just started laughing because it was so funny. But
So then she gets back to New York after realizing the fullest
she
potential.
goes to Peru, and
But
then
also,
just
this
come back.
guy is like, once someone has mastered these powers enough, they can have the ability to be in different places in one time.
It's like literally.
It's literally the laziest writing ever.
Spider-Man didn't do that.
Yeah. He's like, oh, there was that one scene.
Spider-Man didn't do that.
There was that one scene when after she saw him climb the wall, she was like, how could I know if I've never tried?
She's literally in her apartment.
How can I know if I never
reading through her
tried?
mother's notes, and she's like, "Wait, I can do this." And she goes up to the wall, and literally, it's the dumbest 5 seconds you will ever see.
But did they think it would be funny?
Mm-hmm.
Or
Like
maybe it was
this.
satire.
Anyway,
Like, he's not mic'd up.
no, he literally just like tries to climb up the wall.
And then she looks at her cat, and it's like, and she's like, "Don't tell anyone." And I'm like, okay. So she gets back to New York.
I
and
wonder
she-
if Disney Channel wrote this movie.
No, they usually do pretty good stuff.
It's like Lemonade
Mouth.
or Teen Beach.
Or-
No, Teen Beach is better, and Lemonade Mouth is better.
Radio Rebel. I'm Radio Rebel.
That movie was so weird. For some reason.
So she gets back to New York, and she like is having Ben look after the girls, and then Spider-Man's mom goes into labor. What? Is that Spider-Man? Oh my gosh, that's a selling point for this movie. Nothing else is good about this movie. That wasn't even good about this movie. This movie
No,
sucks.
because it didn't even say it was Peter.
Yeah. Oh, there was that one time at the bridal shower when people were like, "What did your mom used to tell you when you were a kid?" And Kaiser's like, "Oh, my mom was dead." And then everyone was like,
Pardon? Excuse me? You're telling me your mother's dead?
"Kid with the cup thing." They did that. They were just like
Like
so socially
Okay.
awkward.
Like,
And then she had
so-
another flashback right then.
Mhm.
I was like, "What is she?"
And then she did it again, and she's like, "Oh no."
And then she's like, "What? Are you guys playing some trick on me?" Because she went back in the past.
You trollop. I thought we already did that.
Yeah, we already did this game.
But
So she
then-
gives the girls to Ben Parker.
Yeah.
Mary Parker goes into labor, so they're driving to the hospital. But Spider-Man finds them because he has access to every single camera in New York. And then Madam Web is like, "Well, I can't get there in time." She's literally just a regular person who is schizophrenic, essentially. And then she's like, gets her old radio, calls an ambulance, kidnaps the driver, steals the ambulance, drives it through a billboard, lands on the car that Ben Parker, Mary Parker, and the girls are in just because Spider-Man was standing on the hood. Luckily, none of them had any injuries. Mary
oh,
Parker-
I thought that when he got hit by the car, it was funny because his body went.
yeah. Allegedly, Mary Parker made it to the hospital on time, and Ben Parker just kind of sat there in all that commotion. She took the girls in the ambulance to the fireworks shop because she has a plan. They're going to light up all the fireworks and then blow Spider-Man up. Evil Spider-Man.
Evil Spider-Man up.
And then they, like, get to the roof and everything's blowing up, and she's, like, telling him how to move. She's like, in 3 seconds, you got to duck. And I was like,
And then she uses her power, but like none of it works.
yeah, it's to the point where, like, she's doing all this stuff, and it's supposed to look cool, but she's not even doing it right.
No. And then she's just like, "Oh, that R is." We push close. She's like, "Oh, that R is
Does that
good."
pick up our stuff that takes place in between?
I really hope.
So, wait, how long has that been on? You have it?
Huh?
I've been looking for that thing.
There you go. But she like,
This
she's like,
movie was obviously sponsored by Pepsi as well.
yeah, it's so many.
The final finale was on a Pepsi sign.
Yeah.
Literally.
So the guy gets killed because she tells the future that the R is gonna fall on him.
She tells the future?
She like, yeah, okay.
No, listen.
Oh
He
yeah,
has
I
her like
forgot.
pinned, and doors dangling. Skirt is like something's up with her, and Four Eyes is also. They're all trapped in different places. He's like, "I've got you," and then she's like, does the turns into 3 people at once thing,
Yeah.
and then she, like somehow she tricks him into falling off, and then like the big Pepsi sign falls on him and like crushes and kills him, even though he has spider strength. Stupid. And then she like falls in the water, and like a firework hits her in the face.
What happened to
and
her?
blows up.
Oh yeah, her eyes.
Like,
A firework hits her in the face, and she goes
that was
blind.
probably the best part of the movie. Seeing her just get rocked by a firework, and then she gets pulled out.
No, she's butt
she
ugly.
is so ugly.
I wish Sydney Sweeney. I would actually like the movie more if those two places were swapped.
Sydney Sweeney couldn't play an adult.
She's so hot though. I'm sorry, but she's kind of hot.
And then
I have a
the girls
girlfriend.
pull her back up onto the surface, and they do CPR, and they bring her back to
Oh my
life.
gosh.
It's so amazing.
Anyway, it cuts to
Like
Oh
years
my
later,
gosh,
she has these
years-
stupid-looking sunglasses, an electric wheelchair, because somehow her legs got broken too.
it's like. Anyway, her legs got broken and she's in this wheelchair, and like they all
Just-
live at the place.
They all
And then
live
she's
together.
just like, "Bless you, sweetheart." And then
And
she's
the Dora's like, huh?
"What? Oh, it's you!"
And then she's like, oh, you got me.
Oh my gosh, it's so stupid.
Like, how could that have been a thing where something...
Hey, Lois, want to check out my book club? Oh yeah, totally.
The way I understand it is that if something dangerous or life-threatening happens, she will live through it, see what to do to avoid it, and then go back in the past.
I wish I
It's
could
not
do that.
like, did she sneeze and then blow
What,
up,
you gonna-
and that's how she flashed
You're
back
gonna
in
just
time to
skip
tell her?
cancer? It's like, oh, I got diagnosed. Nope, I'm gonna change that. How do you do that?
Well, what was life-threatening about her sneezing in order for her to come back in time to tell her she was going to sneeze?
What? Do you, oh yeah, power word.
She's like, if something is going to kill you, then she will live through that and then come back and be able to avoid that. How is the
Yo,
sneeze
if I drop my
deadly?
hot dog, and then I can just use my power and go back in time and catch the hot dog before it falls.
You would go back to the time before you dropped the hot dog.
Yeah.
Don't make that
My
noise.
nose itches.
And there's that thing that you... now we're at this end of this awful Forsaken movie. There was that thing you talked about where you're like, if the toast is burnt, you just throw it out. And there's... there was a lot of, like, MCU projects
That looks so bad.
scheduled, that's his foot, scheduled to release this year or early next year that have been kind of, like, essentially scrapped, rewritten, and reworked, reshot. Because they're starting to go for more quality over quantity.
I'm
Because they know when to throw out the toast.
I'm really looking forward to Fantastic Four with Pedro Pascal
Yeah, that's a pretty good cast. I'm glad they
and
got him.
Eddie, whatever his name is.
You think so?
I liked the
I feel
old
like
one.
they're
Remember
actually
when Chris
Pratt,
no, not Chris Pratt.
Pine, Hemmings.
Chris Evans.
Chris Evans played Flame On.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Human Torch.
Human Torch. That's what he says when he goes.
Yeah.
The Thing also. I love The Thing. Because he like tried to push the buttons on the phone and then his finger's too big.
That's hilarious.
And then my favorite part was when the girl like got naked. And then
I knew you
Yo,
were
when
gonna
I
say
was like little, I was like,
Brock, stop.
dude, what if I was like invisible? I could just be naked everywhere.
That was your thought.
So like,
just
you don't have to wear clothes
Got
everywhere.
reminded of that video of your brothers.
What?
You know the one.
No, that's. Oh,
Never mind.
Can I just put that?
No, you can't put that in.
I'm not putting that in. Kipton will hate me. I'm showing him that when he gets older. Anyway,
So yeah,
they
MCU,
butchered this movie.
but yeah, they didn't know when to throw out the burnt
It's
toast.
worse than Food Fight.
It was. I mean, parts of it is laughably bad, but other parts is just.
You know what we need to watch? We need to watch
Interesting.
Mega Man 2 or
Megamind?
Megamind 2.
I don't want to watch that show, man. It looks terrible.
Syndicate. No, it did ruin.
It looks already
It
terrible.
looks like something you see on.
Moist Critical watched it and he's just like, this is the worst stuff devised by man.
Jeez.
Yeah.
But I feel like everybody's been dogging on MCU projects, movies lately, but they're actually, instead of like ignoring it, like I always thought they would just keep ignoring it and doing whatever.
Yeah.
They're actually taking a spin on it and fixing stuff, which is cool. Better than whatever the heck this movie
I
was.
keep seeing teasers for Iron Man 4 with his daughter.
Oh yeah.
Those are fake.
I don't know. But it'd be cool if it.
Oh my gosh. I also saw this scene comparison of Ironheart from Wakanda Forever versus Iron Man. She's just a bad character. She's literally just not a good character. Bad writing.
Wait, Iron Man's daughter?
No, Ironheart from Wakanda Forever.
Who's that?
Riri Williams. She's this black kid from like Illinois.
Oh,
Did
okay.
you see that movie?
No, I didn't see it.
It's bad. I mean, the movie wasn't awful,
My voice keeps cracking.
but they've done a terrible representation of Iron Man. They've got to fix that.
Yeah.
There's
Anyway,
a scene comparison. I'll see if I can
there's
get
a
it.
reason why there's only one Thor, only one Captain America, and only one Iron Man.
They did it right, and then they left
Yep.
it alone. But they might not.
Let's give it a rating. I saw on IMDb. My computer didn't work because I don't have Wi-Fi. The IMDb for it was 2.5 out of 10,
That's not good.
and the stars was 2.6 out of 10 out of 5.
And
The Rotten Tomatoes was 12%.
but that's audience score.
Audience score was 2.6.
Wait, critics was 12.
Mm-hmm.
Critics on Rotten Tomatoes 12.
12.
That's bad. That's really bad.
Terrible.
How do you make how
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 do you
can you
make
get-
money?
how can you? Oh my gosh! The fact they made money off that. How can you get to the point where that's the movie that's your finished product, and then you actually put
Sydney
it out
Sweeney
for consumer
literally-
value?
Like, she did a movie with her husband or whatever. I don't know. It's like a love story. I don't know what it was. And then she talked about Madam Web. She's always like, "Yep, Madam Web."
Wait, didn't she say you've seen me in this? You've seen me in whatever this was, but
wish
you
you
haven't seen me in Madam Web. Yeah. That's the roof. Through the vibrations.
Sure. So let's give it a score out of 15. This is going to be the lowest scoring
Probably. This is just a really, really bad movie.
for what they gave it. I'm gonna give it a 3.
You
No.
think it was 1 star?
2. I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 15.
What's the redeeming quality?
The redeeming quality of it.
I can't find a redeeming quality, and I'm
No,
very
I
tempted
don't.
to put it at 1.
Really?
I cannot find anything good about that
I'm
movie.
gonna give it a 2 just because. No, the only part I enjoyed was the toxic.
There's a thing that I said about this movie after we walked out. I don't know if I should say it on the podcast. Do
You should say it.
you remember what I said?
Well,
You want people to start liking women and black people, start making good movies about them. Remember that? I feel like it's a valid.
there's this
point.
one movie where all these like black kids and all these like thugs go into a classroom, right?
Mhm.
Taught by this teacher.
Freedom Riders.
Yes,
That
that's
movie's
like
fantastic.
Freedom Riders. We have to watch it. It's so good.
It's a very, very good movie.
Very compelling
Opposite
movie.
of this, essentially.
If you
This
want to
movie's
make
so
it,
bad.
basically, essentially what he said.
I don't think it's
not-
out on streaming.
It's not on streaming. We can watch either Kung Fu Panda, Lego Movie, or Jackass.
No, whoa,
My bad.
beans.
My bad.
You can bleep that, right?
Huh?
You can bleep that. Can you bleep that?
I'm eating smoky
Can you bleep
peanuts.
it?
No.
You have to.
No. Sorry. I'm Johnny Knoxville.
Shut up.
It's a movie.
It's a movie.
not a swear word.
It's not a swear word. Don't watch that movie
Unless you're 18.
unless you're 18, like
Or
Seth.
your mom tells you to.
Mom tells you to.
That was Louis.
Listen, the movie bad.
All right.
Movie 1 out of 15. Movie 2 out of 15.
Yep.
Bad.
And so that is our review of Madam Web.
Tragically bad.
Just,
Feel bad for all the people who were a part of it.
Just a few updates. Our season finale, I think.
This is. What was the one we did last time you never sent me a title
8.
card for? That was 8?
I think it was 8 or
I
7.
think it was 7. Oh, let me check Instagram.
Check it real quick.
Brock posted the last episode without sending
My
me a
bad.
title card, so none of you probably knew about that on Instagram. Don't watch it. It was a bad episode.
Which episode?
The ranking. It was boring.
It was pretty boring because the feed couldn't catch up.
What am I doing? Oh, yeah.
Instagram. That's weird that we're checking our Instagram on the pod.
Last one was 7.
So this is 8.
No. Ranking was 8. This is 9. Next one's finale. And then we
Next
can get rid of
finale
this banner.
is, you're going to love it, Guys and Dolls finale. We're going to be in full costume. And we're going to give you a pod on the stage in front of the casino.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know if
in
that's
front of something.
allowed.
I don't know. But during shows, we're just going to talk about how it's going. We might have some guests.
It'll be more of last finale was a lot like clips, skits, sketches, and stuff.
just to give you guys a goof.
So
This
it,
one will
it
be
won't
actual.
be like a complete pod all put together like this one.
And I gotta say,
He has to say that.
I have to. I gotta.
Gotta get something off his
I
chest.
gotta say something off my chest, and I
This I shouldn't have done.
go see Guys and Dolls.
Don't
March.
see Madam Web.
Don't see Madam Web.
March 14th.
Next episode might be the last episode of Intentionally Dense.
Season 2.
Season 2, maybe. We just don't know. No, it'll happen because we're gonna be away from the musical, so we can do more stuff.
Yeah, that's why we've been gone so long.
We've been gone because we've been working on a project that y'all are going to love.
The musical?
The musical.
That's not our project, dude.
Basically,
We
it
get
is.
essentially no credit for that.
Yeah, we do.
We do.
We're literally the leads.
Yeah, but we do not do the most parts. Tammy does the most of anyone.
Well, shout out to Tammy Nelson and
Yeah.
Gina Fulmer.
Nielsen.
Oh,
Regina Fulmer.
Fulmer.
Fillmore.
Thank you for watching, and
Good riddance.
poo poo platter.
The poo.